All right, good evening. Welcome back to the Failed Breakdown channel, everyone. It is Friday, the 20th of February. It's been a fairly eventful day in the markets. Opex Friday, but driven very heavily by a couple of news events. But we did get a nice failed breakdown. You had to be pretty quick on this one. And for me, I actually missed the trade entirely. I'll explain why kind of as we go through it, but I'll just talk through the setup. I do have admin with me here today to get his perspective on it because he traded it and made a good bit of money on this trade. So I appreciate him coming on and joining us to get the insights of someone who actually got off the sidelines, unlike me today. So and with that, just a reminder, we're doing our best to follow the plan and the method taught by Adam Mancini, and as ever, go and check out his newsletter for the full breakdown. Don't exactly know what he's traded yet today. The newsletter will come out later. It'll be interesting to see that. So with all that intro, let's bring the charts across. Got the usual 4 out on the left. We'll spend most of the time in the 15-minute. I'll drop down the time frames. So coming into the morning's, coming into the open this morning, we had the GDP data drop that didn't look very good. Right prior to that, we did actually have a level reclaim of the 67 to 70 level, and I know a few folks in the Discord traded that successfully. That was right in the middle of my kind of getting the kids off to school, so I missed that, but there was a nice level to level move here to kick off the day. And then we got the news drop for GDP and dumped from the mid 70s, flushed through the 60 levels, and we coming into the open, we were threatening the prior day's low down here at 68.48. I think precisely it was 68.47.75. So right off the open, the plan was to wait for a flush, look for the 38 to 45 area to hold, bounce and recover that for a potential long entry. We didn't exactly get that. What we got instead was a micro flush. I think it just 2 ticks was the flush depth in the end, right off the open, and then it bounced straight from there. And seeing that, then my first error was not quickly switching gears enough to kind of trigger the non-acceptance protocol or routine there. And to see this, I'm going to drop down to the 2-minute chart. And I think what I'll do at the end of the video is actually go back and replay it. It happened so quickly. I'll be doing that for my own benefit, but I'll replay it in 1-to-1, and we can see, kind of how quickly it moved and what the execution should have been had I been a bit more decisive there. So this is a 2-minute chart now. You can see right off the open here, between the kind of the blue, that's the open. I'm Central Time, so it's 8:30, 9:30 Eastern. Just real tiny whip below the level by 2 ticks, bounces back up. So without the proper flush, we need to follow the non-acceptance protocol because there just isn't the space for acceptance to occur. So coming off the 48 level, that would put us up at 53. Just drawing the box here. So we're looking for a hold above the 5-point danger zone for a couple of minutes, and this was where I kind of stumbled on it, because you can see this 2-minute candle, we just rocketed straight from the low 68.50s, and by the time that 2-minute had passed, we were up in the 68.61 and then heading up to the mid 60s. So there was definitely a potential entry in there. For me, it just happened too fast, and I was hesitant about getting back in kind of beneath the 67 or the 70 level. I think in hindsight, there was definitely another reclaim available here at 67.17. I did mention that in the pre-market as well. I think I said something to the effect of, and I'll paste it in here, but if we hold this level, bounce and return to 67 to 70, and we can maybe push up from there, but I just wasn't really interested in taking that trade. So to get involved above, personally, I won't be engaging in any of that, but there is a potential reclaim of this 67 to 70 zone above. If perhaps we're able to hold this right now off the open, if we aren't able to flush the prior day's low, which looks like we've just tagged it to the tick, but if we can hold that and lift straight from here, maybe dip again and then push up, that is a potential. Yeah, admin, why don't you jump in and give us your perspective on the trade. You have a slightly different style, I think, from me. Maybe a bit quicker with your entries, and it seems like this whole week or more has definitely favored those faster entries. I know you've been doing very well, so why don't you give us your thoughts?
Yeah, so basically, when I start my day, I always want to figure it out what's going on in the market. When I wake up in the morning, I look at the market condition, I look at the day, what's going on, and I want to vision it right away, where I'm trading and what I'm going to do with my trade. So today was Opex day, and we all know it. It's choppy, trappy, filled with all the traps. So we want to have the really nice setup, and the only setup we has. The quality one was the failed breakdown. He did mention 68, 66, 60, 70, which I mentioned in the room Discord. I'm not going to trade it because it's going to be trappy. The market was in the morning when I saw it. It was like not volatile. It was it flushed overnight, and then market just started not too much volatile market in the morning. Um, I did trade a small size, and I caught few points, but other than that, I knew ahead of the time that this is not going to work out. It's gonna be trappy, and it's just a level reclaim. So I don't want to position size heavy on that. Now when it
Where
comes,
did you enter that trade, and kind of what time were you looking at the 70 level? Because there was some nice kind of
yeah,
acceptance. The price just clinging to that level very tightly for maybe about
so we
15 minutes, um, right prior to it pushing
yeah.
through the 70.
So we did have yesterday evening structure at 68.71, which has give us a rally all the way to 68 6900 plus. So that 68.71 was the one I was keeping an eye on it. So I entered about 68.72, and before the PCA data came and the price moved in 5 points, and as soon as I entered, I told everyone, okay, consider aggressive profit as risky entry. It's just a level reclaim. So my plan is ready. Everything is ready for me. I knew exactly what I'm trading for 68.70. It's a evening structure where 68.71 rallied all the way to 6900. So I was thinking I want to enter at 68.72 or so. And then I alerted everybody, and I mentioned it. Consider aggressive profit is risky entry. Some of the people did take 67 as per Adam tweet, and I'm not sure if that's if Adam traded 68, 67. I don't know. We'll figure it out in the newsletter. So that's that for 68, 60, 68, 70. Now, when it comes to 6848 failed breakdown, that is important for me because it's a failed breakdown. It's a yesterday's low, and we want to keep an eye on that. Now, when the market is flushing after the PCA data, my mind is always running. It's running. Okay, it's gonna fail below 68.48, and I'm only looking for, my eyes are only looking for to price to break below 68.48. But anything can happen before that. So what happened is at 8:49, I'm looking at my 1 minute chart, and at 8:49 Eastern time, market bounced from 68.51 all the way to 68.62, 68.64 till 9 o'clock. So now I'm marking that area also. All right, 68.51 is something that is a good option. Maybe somebody wants to enter at 68.51. So I do mark that area because it did give like 13 points bounce. Now market started flushing again. Um, Now when it flushed, I'm always marking down where it start bouncing. So I'm looking at the market. I have my everything is ready for me. My position size is ready. Um, my trade is ready because I'm looking for market to go below 68.48. Market didn't go below 68.47.70. It did go at 9.16. It went. Um, Give me a second. At 9:21 Eastern Time, the price precisely touched 68.47.75 and it bounced 4 point to 68.53. So this is where I'm going. Okay, well, market is holding that 68.47. That's not good. I want market to go down. That gives me a signal where, okay, not enough sellers are present. I want to flush. I want market to flush, but it didn't flush right away. It bounced a little bit. So now that scenario is there for me that, okay, it's not enough sellers are there. It's in my mind because it bounced a few points. It should have flushed. It didn't flush. Now, as soon as it flushed below at 9:30 when market open, it's volatile. Of course, it's gonna flush a little bit, and that's what exactly happened. It flushed below 68.47 by 2 ticks only, previous low, and then it reclaimed. And when it reclaimed, it started holding above 68.48, and there was a chance for me. This is what I feel. Okay, market is holding above 68.48 and at 9:32 it's already 2 minutes for me. And that's when I enter at 68.50. That's my scenario. That's how I trade with the price action. I looked at the market. I'm like, okay, it's holding 68.48 for 2 minutes and I'm fine with it. Taking a trade and market was not going down. So I'm like, okay, let me take the trade here because this is something that may go up, may shoot up. Looking at the previous condition where sellers are not present enough, and it should bounce. When it comes to Adam must have traded after 2 minutes of reclaim, and there is no wrong price for him. So I don't see a wrong price where we are chasing. This is not chasing. Once it triggers failed breakdown of 2 points, and if it hold above 2 minutes above, for him it could be 68.58, 68.60, or 68.62. We don't know, but I'm sure he must have entered somewhere above 68.56 or so, or 55. So uh, that's what I feel. So that's about me from my side.
Yeah, great
I
insights there. Thanks, admin. I like the way you're kind of reading it. Just the way you've explained that the market should have flushed. Sellers didn't have the energy or the impetus to do that, and so then you're on high alert. Tiny little 2 tick flush off the open, and then you're looking to get long. So that's great. Yeah, it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see. I wonder if Adam just engaged around the 61 level as we kind of reclaimed that. But that's kind of where you were 2 minutes after clearing the danger zone. It was back at 61. Um, so
yeah.
yeah, there was definitely an option to get in there.
So the only thing I want to add over here is like a two-tick fail breakdown. We did not have this fail breakdown first time of two-tick. We have this two-tick fail breakdown many times. You might have seen that 5 times a year or 6 times a year. If anybody is interested in journaling, then they will find out. All right, we did get a two ticks fail breakdown on this date, on that date. Okay, so maybe 5 or 6 or 10 times a year we have this two tick fail breakdown. And how Adam has traded before, if we noted down everything for how Adam traded, then we can improve our trading skills for the next time. But if today two ticks fail breakdown happen, and members are not journaling, they are not noting down what is going to happen, how I'm going to trade tomorrow or when it happens next time, uh, it can affect the win ratio. And then and maybe you will overtrade like a FOMO. So people do like a FOMO trading, right? Like chasing like a 68, 90 or somewhere. So I don't want that to happen. I just want people to make sure that if they do journal, it will work out great next time. So
Yeah,
that
that's
that's
something
my
I actually keep track of in my logs is how deep each flush was. Go back and take a look at that. Um, but yeah, to your point there, I mean, for me, after missing this and then missing the potential reclaim, well, I wasn't very excited about it anyway. And then, of course, we got the tariff news from the Supreme Court drop. And
Yep.
after that, I just didn't have a planned trade to execute around above here. So to avoid doing anything stupid, I just shut the platform down and went and did something else. But we did have also a nice, if you're able to make a kind of plan throughout the day, there was another potential trade. Sorry, I'm just trying to lost track of where I am on the chart. Yeah, so right around 10:30 11:30 Central Time. Sorry, 11:30 Eastern Time. We set a nice low at a major level, 68.88. Bounced from 88 up to 22, so 40-point bounce, and then flushed it. Yeah, this was very clean. I was, one of those where you get back to the chart. I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed that, but I wasn't even at the screen at this point. But that's one of those. If you'd missed all this morning volatility, just wait for the structure to form and follow the process again. Identify the significant low, wait for the scary flush, and then wait for acceptance and then the reclaim. Let's just drop down time frame and see what the acceptance looked like of this level. Yeah, so a little bit of the first type of acceptance to me, where we've flushed straight through the level, bounced off of our 68.70 level to the tick almost, or the 71 actually, the level you were talking about more precisely. Returned to the 88, dipped, and then pushed up through. You could have got in somewhere on this 3-minute candle here to reclaim this significant low that was set in the morning. So yeah, ton of opportunities there. For me, I've
Yeah,
missed a lot.
yeah, we did have a 6870 failed breakdown at like so at 10:15 we did, it's a very shallow, again it's a shallow failed breakdown at 10:15 Eastern, 10:16 Eastern time. We have 6872 as a low, and we rallied all the way to 6925 before that, and we came back down all the way at 10:16, 6872. So this is the price which I noted down. Maybe it's not easy to see in a 15-minute chart, but uh, I noted down like, okay, 6872, that's a low, significant low. And later on in the afternoon at 12:25, price broke below 6872 by 1 point, 6871, and that triggered the another shallow fail breakdown.
Yeah, so
Uh,
we're talking about the
mhm.
same flush
Oh,
where you get
okay.
the same leg down, micro flush of that 72 level,
Oh,
decent
nice.
flush
Okay.
of the 88. Kind of similar scenario to the morning trade, where you can either take the micro flush with the non-acceptance protocol, so in this case getting in above 77, somewhere after a couple of minutes, or potentially look for proper acceptance of a level higher up, which this morning would have been around the 67.70 level, and up here midday would have been around this 88 level and the significant low set there. So yeah, if it's too fast for you
Yeah.
and you miss that non-acceptance protocol, and it looks like the market will give you another level to level move from the next level up, just wait for a clearer acceptance of that level and trade it that way.
Nice. Yeah. No shortage of setup. If we miss it, there is always going to be next week, so that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely don't chase. I could feel myself kind of getting into that mode as we were whipping up and down with all this tariff stuff going. So like, you know what? It's been a good week. I'm not gonna ruin it doing something stupid here. So that's where I just shut things down.
Yeah, and that's the best part. Skipping the trade is the best part because I know you have talked about it and you mentioned it right away. I'm going to skip the trade multiple times where even though trade triggers, you knew exactly when to skip it because if the skills are not there, if you are not feeling comfortable, then you want to skip it. You don't want to trade, copy my trading or someone else trading. Okay, someone else traded, then I want to trade. That's not how it is. Um, if your trade skills are saying okay, you don't want to take, you don't want to chase, you don't want to take the trade here, that's fine. And that's the best thing. Like skipping the trade is the best thing to um, think about it. We don't want to take every single trade because we are not there. Nobody's there. Everybody has their own trade skills. For me, my weakness is evening trade. If it's not volatile, I cannot figure it out. Where is the acceptance? If there is acceptance or not, I don't know. And I take the trade, and many times it works, and so many times it doesn't work. It's part of the business. So
Yeah,
uh,
those evening trades are a double-edged sword for sure. When they work, they set you up great for the next day, and you're sitting pretty. And when they don't, they give you a couple of hours of torment in the evening, right before bed, and you're like, oh gosh, what am I doing? Okay. Hey, so with that,
or
I'm gonna replay this. You're welcome to hang around and watch the replay, or I don't know how well you can see it on the screen share.
yeah, I cannot see anything. That's fine.
Okay, if you
Perfect.
can't see anything, then I'll just replay it on my own. But I'm going to replay it tick by tick here. Um,
Awesome.
with that, I'll
Thank
let
you.
you sign off and go about the rest of your day if you can't see it. So,
Perfect. Thank you, Tim.
yeah, thanks for joining. Appreciate that.
Bye-bye.
All right. Okay, guys. So I've got the replay mode set up here, and it's set. You can see down at the bottom here. Today, 8:30 a.m. the Central Time. Speed set to 1:1. So in this case, obviously 15-minute on the right. I've got my little range chart on the left, but I won't pay too much attention to that. Not going to need that since there's really not going to be any acceptance here. I have gone ahead and drawn the danger zone ahead of time. Let me just make sure I've got that at the right level. So yeah, I've got it tagged off of the prior day's low, which was 47.75, 5 points, giving us 52.75, and that's where price is trading right now. So let me start the replay, and I'm just going to play this in 1:1 the whole time throughout. So as admin mentioned, we bounced exactly off the prior day's low. Sellers weren't able to push it lower. And is this rolling? Oh, sorry. Didn't hit play. I just turned it on. Didn't hit play. Okay, so here we go. You can keep track of the time in the bottom right-hand corner here. Again, central time. So just 10 seconds after the open at this point. Here we go. We're pushing down. There's the two-tick flush. And I was really expecting a move lower here into maybe the 38, but it failed to do that. And I really appreciate that insight from admin, just talking about how we failed to flush properly here when it should have done, and now we've only able to put in a two-tick flush at this point. And now So with 45 seconds, kind of approaching the top of the danger zone here. So that's why it's important to draw the danger zone on ahead of time. I did actually have it in place, but it moved so quick that it felt very chasey. Zoom out. Okay, that'll do. Okay, so here, right at 8:31, we've just tagged, but then failed back into it. So what I'm going to do is once we get above the danger zone, kind of keep an eye on the clock and just look to see if we're holding. But you can see another sell gets quickly bought up. Seller's trying again. They got down to about 49 that time. And you can kind of start to see, just very little progress from sellers. Every small rotation getting bought up. And here we've just broken up top of the danger zone at 8:32. So we'll keep an eye on the clock now. You want to give that a couple of minutes. And this is where it just felt like it just ran away from me. But we've just tagged the 61 above. So now we're just looking to see if it's going to hold for a couple of minutes. So that 2-minute window would trigger right at 34 down here. So this is where we're actually getting a little bit of acceptance of the 61 level. We tagged it from beneath, sold off, and have instantly returned to it. We're now just at 1 minute above the danger zone. And I think this is where it really started moving. Let's see. Just mention on the Delta front, just nothing from sellers at all. All aggressive buying so far. So that's 1 minute 30-ish. And so here it's just, for me, I felt like it gotten away from me. We had the bad GDP data up here. It's Opex Friday. I'm kind of in profit protection mode for the week, and I just really didn't want to be trying to force something. We're now 15 points-ish off of the low here. So that's the 2-minute mark there. So that's your potential entry trigger. It's held above for 2 minutes. Just for the fun of it, let's not on that chart. Let's just enter a trade in replay mode right there. So yeah, that's the 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Entered 10 contracts. Stop will go below the lowest low. Wide stop on this one, obviously. About 15 point stop. Actually, it's not terrible, I guess, because of the micro flush we had there. 15 points is pretty typical for a structural stop. Take profit at the next level up. We'll target the 70 level or a little bit underneath it. Now that the acceptance has played out, I'll just speed it up a little bit here. Boom. There we go. And then I'm going to slow it back down and kind of extend this out. So if you'd missed that, there was the potential to get in with some proper acceptance of this 67 to 70 level. At least I thought there was. Pretty sure we dip here and then push back up through. So we've just poked through the level, a couple of points. We definitely wouldn't be interested in chasing that. But if we could dip, 5 to 10 points off of that, hold 61 and then return, that would definitely offer another potential entry. Obviously the slight trouble here, we're just doing a level reclaim, lower quality, quite a few points off the low now. We'd be having a 20-point stop on that at least. So your risk and reward has gone, is unfavorable. Yeah, wouldn't be ideal, and that's obviously why I didn't look to enter there, but paid handsomely. Just gonna flash to see how long this took. What's this 3-minute chart? Maybe about 6 minutes. So yeah, let's play it a little bit quicker. But here we're getting that kind of type 2 acceptance where we've poked straight through the level, dip, and then right when we come back up, there's another entry in there. So yeah, so let's look to get in above here. Just treat this as a separate trade. Can we lift up through the level? I'm slowing it back down to 1-to-1. So this is where I'm looking to see if we can get an entry using the second type of acceptance of this 70 level. So really just looking for the pop above now. If we can clear, if we get to 72. Yeah, so let's take a second entry in there just for the fun of it. And get all the trades off of this chart. So you can clearly see here on the range chart now the swings of type 2 acceptance. Almost poked above here. You want to give it a couple of points really. Not interested in getting in on that first poke up through, dip and then push. And just took an entry on that candle there. Always tricky, the second type of acceptance to me, but a little bit of drawdown on that trade so far. Where was the entry? At 72. What was it? 4-5 points of drawdown there. With something like this, I would look to bring the there's no way I'm going to take a structural stop on that entry, but you could maybe just go behind the 61 level, or if you want it to be really tight, use this low here at 63, but I'll put them a few points behind the 61 level. Okay, let's speed things up and draw this video to a close. Boom, boom. And yeah, that's what I should have done. Of course, in hindsight, it's very easy. Okay, with that, I will catch you guys in the Discord. See you guys next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.